Okay, it's going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Menken and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
How's it going?
Hello, Joe. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Welcome to the first episode of the new year.
Exciting.
I think this is episode 96.
I trust you.
I have no idea. But it is 2022. That's the important part. Are you used to it yet?
It feels so weird because I'm back at work and there's like no one around. So I feel lost. I'm lost, man. No
idea what to do with yourself.
And then there's the whole turns out I'm in close contact for COVID as of like midday today of filming. So I'm going to be here all weekend as well, which would be great.
Yeah, cool. So we're both quarantined then. Cool. I don't know if I talked about that on the show.
Briefly, but explain it now.
Right. I'm in home quarantine for 2 weeks. We picked up my mom. She came back from overseas, from the Netherlands. And now we're in quarantine for 2 weeks. So
what are you
that's fun.
Like resorting to? What are you doing with yourself now? It's only been like a day.
Drugs. Yeah, it has been like
how you
14 hours.
How's it going?
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's kind of just a normal day so far. I woke up at like 9 today, so I haven't really had that much of a day. I did some work this morning. I made the reels that I had to make for this week. And then I got ready for the podcast.
Cool.
And now we're
sounds
here.
fun.
Oh, and I edited half of the vlog for today.
That's pretty productive.
So we're doing okay. Yeah, I've actually had a surprise. I do actually have a lot of stuff that I need to get done over the next 2 weeks.
That's
so
good.
It actually works out quite well.
That's good.
Yeah. So
You're excited.
I'm excited. But I think I'm gonna be fine for like about a week. I think I'm gonna have about a week of like, this is okay, you know? And then after that week, like next week Thursday, like when we record the next episode, I think I'm gonna have run out of things to do. Like I think that's gonna be the point where I'm like, okay, well I have no more
Just
projects
be slightly
to work
less
on
productive
now.
than you should for this week. Then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean I've like put a lot on my plate, so I should be okay, to be honest. Like I'm a busy boy.
You are.
I'm a busy boy.
Can you talk about any of those projects yet? Oh, not really.
Not quite. I can say that I have a meeting pretty much directly after we finish recording the podcast today, to restart production on one of them because we took 2 weeks off over Christmas and New Year's. So we're going straight back into it, which is really exciting. Little bit scary.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff's going to be happening this year, so it's going to be really, really cool. But also, like, it's so much that we're juggling at once. That it's potentially a little bit overwhelming. But we will be fine. We will make it through.
The book's going to come in clutch. What is it?
Yeah.
Diary. Journal.
Yes, the journal.
I'm actually going to start using that. I can this year because I've been so unproductive so far. So I'm going to be able to use it now. It's going to be so good.
I don't actually know where mine is right now.
Wow.
Hang on. It's been a long week. Hang on. Let me I found it.
There it is. Oh, that was quick.
I brought it with me to the airport. Yeah, we're good. I did apparently have an idea where it was. So we are all good. Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I've got tons of projects. What I can say is that I'm working on 2 documentaries at once and then another project. So there's 3 projects going at once, and I've committed to doing this a vlog a day thing, which is good fun. I've found a way to do it that doesn't make it really stressful.
How so?
Yeah. Well, I'm not I don't know. So the way that I've been doing it is I've been setting myself an amount of time to actually edit it. So rather than just sitting down and editing, I'm like, okay, well, I have an hour and a half to get this done, basically. At the end of the day. So if I have like time during the day to like play with it and start editing like maybe an intro or like the middle section, I like will jump in and give that a shot. But at the end of the day, like once I've finished all the stuff I need to get done, I give myself an hour and a half to edit the vlog. And at the end of that, it has to be done. So whatever I have at the end of that is what gets uploaded, pretty much.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I found a good flow, like a pretty good format for how the vlog pieces together in terms of like the actual format. So it's like, you know, this is literally what the format is. It's intro that doesn't necessarily have to be related to the video as a whole, but just has to be a hook. So intro, time-lapse bit with title cards, and then I find a through line for the day. So whether that's like just like, Dan, this is what I did today, or whether it's like one specific thing that I did that day. Like my vlog that came out today, which is yesterday, that vlog didn't actually start until 9 p.m. So there's like a whole day there that I filmed as well, but that I just didn't really put into the vlog. I only put it in like teeny tiny little pieces. So things like that. So just being able to split it up a bit. But yeah, I've got that format now.
That is very
really cool.
It's cool that you've got a format that you're not gonna hopefully not burn out on.
Yeah, it feels really sustainable so far. That said, though, I'm still not back to my like regular schedule. So we'll see how it goes once I'm back to my regular schedule in about a week or two. Once I'm out of quarantine, that's when it'll get really interesting. But for now, I pretty much have 2 weeks of free reign to create as much as I want. Problem being, there's not a lot of exciting stuff to do.
You can find something. I reckon that'd be so good. It's a good challenge.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Like, it'll be a good challenge of my filmmaking to see whether I can make 2 weeks of sitting at home interesting day to day. Today is easy because the first half of the vlog is like midnight last night onwards, so picking up my mum and coming home, and then the rest of today is like the rest of the video is literally just like me setting up for the podcast.
Yeah, cool.
And then the podcast. So that's today's vlog that will be out 4 days ago.
Man, we time travel every time we do this podcast.
I know. We said a lot of we work a lot forward for this show.
You have to.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm actually it feels really, really good to be making stuff. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. It feels really different this time.
That's good.
It doesn't feel like I'm really conscious of trying not to create for the algorithm or like create to like, you know, create for a purpose. The only purpose I have for making these daily videos is to document what's happening, pretty much, and as like a test of my filmmaking skills to be able to make something every single day and not worry too much about what it actually is. So
cool. I don't. That's good.
I'm having lots of fun with it.
I'm glad. Does it feel different to like? Well, it does feel different to how you were creating last time. Does it feel good to be creating more again though?
Yeah, definitely. It feels really, really, really good this time. I think last time, even when I was starting last time, it still very much felt like I was creating for something, if that makes sense. Like it was like, oh, I'm creating because I want to be seen, or I'm creating because I want this video to be watched by people, you know? But the reality of it now is that I'm creating as an exercise for myself, and as a creative outlet that isn't like a creative project. Because I think that's what I kind of realized now is that a lot of the creative projects that we have is group stuff, which is great, and it creates really good content. But then when you come back to it, you know, you no longer have that autonomy to create in a way that that you specifically want to. And you know, like particularly with these documentaries that I'm working on, you know, one of them it's Sam and I, and Sam and I have very different styles, so we kind of meet in the middle, which is great because it creates this completely new idea of like how we make a film, really. But it's neither of our styles, so we can kind of split it up that way. But when it's my vlog and it's my video, I can really experiment with things and try out new ideas and like, you know, I don't know. It feels the vlog is a lot more experimental. That feels like where I can play around with ideas and mess around a bit. That's like my playground, I think.
Are you trying to stick to the like that flow that's worked for you, where you said what a hook and then, well you were very specific with,
That's just what it is now. That's just what it is now. It could change. It really could change. I'm obviously very influenced by Casey Neistat as a filmmaker. But something that I've kind of realized recently is that I find it really difficult to separate what is actually my style and what I have directly learnt from watching Casey Neistat videos. Because the thing is that I do genuinely think that my style is very similar in that kind of like quick cutting and like natural dialogue and capturing the day as it goes, you know, and like the way that he does title cards and things like that. Like that's the way that my brain works as well. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, how do you separate that? How do I separate like what's my actual style and what have I learnt from him?
Yeah, that's the whole like everyone gets influenced by some sort of thing, you know, some other creator or some form of creating, and you know, copyright. That's when that jumps in. Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah, but I do find it really hard because I don't want to be a carbon copy. Like, at no point would I ever want to be a carbon copy of Casey Neistat. Because, you know, like, it is a really easily... I mean, it's not easy, but it is an imitatable style. I'll put it that way. But like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like 80% of the way there. I feel like I'm almost there. I think in a month or two, I'll be at a point where it's like, okay, I'm comfortable with where I'm at now.
I think Casey's style is very like.
Hang on, I've just lost you, I think. Give me 2 seconds.
I'll keep talking.
Let me see if this works.
Maybe I won't keep talking. Hello, can you hear me? I'm just going to keep talking.
There we go. I got you. Yeah, we're good now.
I think Casey's style is... His style sort of comes out because he's very comfortable filming wherever and whenever. And so because you were talking to me, I think before the show, that you're now just very comfortable filming wherever. And I think that's where it just naturally falls into a very similar style as Casey's. Even if like the cutting with the, you know, title card, and then when you're cutting seems similar to what his style is, you know, I think I've lost my train of thought now. Even though, all that other stuff can look very similar, I think like the root of that is because you're just so comfortable with filming wherever and filming whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel like you have any other influences in your filmmaking, or short, like that short form sort of style?
I don't think really on YouTube. I don't really watch that much like people on YouTube. Like most of the stuff that I watch is like reviews or like high quality content, like really like well produced stuff. And that's not what I'm making, so that's not what I want to imitate. Like at no point do I want like a red Komodo and like a full like aperture lighting rig and a turntable with fog machines. Like that's not that's not the content that I'm making, you know, like, like it just doesn't serve my purpose. So I think I'm honestly more influenced by like documentary filmmakers. Like that's kind of how I'm approaching it now. And I think one of the main things, actually, this is something that I did really want to mention on that getting more comfortable with filming in public. One thing that the one thing that really like flicked that switch in my head was not calling them videos. The second I stopped calling them videos in my head, I was like, oh, I'm making a movie or I'm making a film, you know? Like that was like an instant switch in my head that was like, okay, well, we're taking this more seriously now. It's no longer about me. It's no longer about me feeling embarrassed about filming in public. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense, but that was kind of the switch in my head.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so to answer your question from before, yeah, documentary filmmaking is definitely a very, very big influence. Also, another really big one, which kind of is a bit strange, is Wes Anderson. There's one shot in my what is it? In my warehouse, in the studio warehouse video, that one, where it's like there's like 5 different versions of me walking around the warehouse.
Yeah.
Like I ripped that directly from a Wes Anderson movie. Because I was like, how can I recreate that? And I spent like 20 minutes figuring out how to do that.
How did you do that? Did you just? Is it just
Black
one
magic
shot and you just like overlaid it?
Yeah. So I just did one shot of me walking around the whole place, and then I cut them and then layered them on top of each other. So I think there were 5 different layers on top of each other, and then I made masks for each section. So I masked out that area and that area and that area, and then just overlaid them all.
Very cool. I did really like that. I thought that was really interesting. That shot.
Yeah. It's easy too, because if the camera's not moving, like it takes like 2 seconds once you figure out how it works.
It is.
And it's a cool effect.
It's 5 francs on the screen.
You haven't watched my vlog from yesterday, have you? Oh, okay. There's the intro of that vlog I'm very proud of. I'm just going to say that. It's vlog number 5. It's called Alone in an International Airport. It's probably my favorite little movie that I've made to date. Yeah. It's really fun. I actually am really happy with it. But the intro I used an effect that I haven't used before. And it's kind of a derivative of a whip pan, like sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but you'll see when you watch it. You'll see when you watch it. I'm looking at the camera now. You'll see when you watch it. Yeah, no, I like just little things like that, and that's what I mean by like playing around. Like, if that was a production, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to be like, oh, let's try this Wes Anderson thing and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, you'd have to do that like well into pre-production, and then if it was too big or whatever, yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do it. Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you reckon that? You reckon what you're making in your vlogs now will like, or the similar styles will like turn into stuff that you're gonna do in documentaries, or you reckon, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the way that I see it is the vlog is a way of me developing my style, and I think that whether I want it to or not, that's gonna bleed into my projects, into the documentaries, regardless of whether I like am actively doing that or not. I think knowing my personality and how my brain works, it just will happen. Like, it just will. Yeah. Which is not a bad thing. Like, I'm at a point now where I really, really like the style that I'm at, which is good. I feel like I've finally grown into a place with my style that I can like really look at it and be proud of it. And really, I think it really comes down to being really comfortable with sharing it for me. Because that is what it is in the end. Like, I am way more comfortable now sharing my videos than I was last year in any of those. Like, any of those videos. Because I still felt like I was putting on something in those videos. Whereas with these, like, I feel like it's 95% accurate to the person that I am in real life. Yeah. Which I think has also come with, doing a podcast for a year.
Being comfortable in front of a camera to just chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of most of my thoughts on it at the moment. But granted, I'm only like 6 days in now to this challenge. So ask me in another 100.
Sure. I'm very keen to see what your style looks like at the end of this 2 weeks at home. Yeah.
Me too. I think it's going to potentially get really weird.
Slowly see Frank descend into madness.
Just descending into just no clothes.
In the garden, picking lemons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the like I have 6 or 7 vlogs planned out in my head already for the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because I have to build my climbing wall. I have to set my climbing wall.
Yeah.
So that's 2 videos. I have to clean the cars, so I'm going to make that a video. I want to organize my time, like by hour, for the next to sort out my weeks and how I'm actually going to fit everything together. And then I want to do a video on like my climbing journey over the past year, like kind of how that's pieced together. And I want to do a video on New York. So I have like 6 or 7 videos already like lined up in my head. But I don't want to write them down. I don't want to have them written down anywhere because the second I write them down, I stop caring about them.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's what I did last time. Last time I was making videos, I would write down an idea on a sticky note and I would put it on my monitor. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to remember that and I'm going to make that video. But the problem is when I write it on a sticky note and I put it on my monitor, my brain goes, that's done now.
Yeah.
And then I never think about it again.
Yeah.
Which, is not ideal when you're trying to make content.
Ideal when you need videos. Yeah. And also when you put it on a paper, like you put it there, you start overthinking it and you're like, is this a good thing? And that's when it becomes like, that's when you're not making it for yourself anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the advantage of making daily content is I can't fake it. Like I can't, I can't plan a video. I can plan a video, but I can't, I can't every day have like, this is a really cool challenge or like, you can't plan anything in advance. It's like, this is my day, or at least this is 5 minutes of my day that I've condensed for you. And I think that's the weirdest part for me so far is like, of my 24-hour day, which 5 minutes do I put together?
That's tough.
And that's the ultimate question. That's what it comes down to. Like that's what makes a video good. That's what makes editing good. That you pick the right 5 minutes and you piece it together.
Yeah, how do you go with sifting through all that stuff? Or do you just not film that much?
I film a lot. I can probably tell you. The most I've filmed was for my Australia Day vlog, which was vlog 4, I believe. And of course it doesn't want to load. There we go. Oh no, it wasn't vlog 4. What vlog was that? Vlog 3. Here we go. So I recorded in one day just over 80 different clips. Many of which are, looking at the sizes of them, many of them are like 5 to 10 minutes each. So it's kind of just like one of the big things that I've been doing recently to kind of like help me with the editing process is I obviously know what clips I've recorded over the course of the day. So in my head during the day, before I even get to the point where I'm editing the actual footage, I've got kind of a mud map in my head of what the video looks like. And that way I can go, okay, well, I remember that clip was kind of around that point in the day. So I'll go through and I'll find that and I'll pull that clip and I'll go that. That's the advantage of filming most of the day, is you can kind of go, oh, I remember that really interesting thing happening. Let's go find that footage and put that in.
Yeah, cool. Really interesting. It's cool what you're doing. I'm excited.
It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And it's not something that I ever thought I would be doing, but it's kind of just fallen into place.
Yeah.
Like everything.
It's gonna be a good year.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about the vlogs. You should check them out though. Go look for Frank Mencken on YouTube, and you'll find.
I'm very keen. I'm gonna watch the yesterday's one after the show. The one that was 4 days ago, 5 days.
Yeah.
Ago? The one that was 4 days ago.
Sorry.
After the show.
What one was 4 days ago?
No, yesterday's
the Australia Zoo one.
We're time traveling.
Oh, right. I was like, what are you on about? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, good plan. Let me know what you think. I genuinely am, from the people close to me, do not send me DMs. I genuinely am looking for feedback on them. Like what could be better and like what could be changed. Particularly in terms of like the flow, like how is do you feel like it flows nicely? I think it does, but I know that my perception tends to be quite different. So, but I'm keeping them all under 5 minutes so they don't get too
and so that you don't have to like edit too much then. Like then.
Oh no, it's way more editing. It's weird. The shorter it gets, the way more editing you do. Because like you end up making a video and it's like 7 minutes long and you go, okay, well, I obviously have way too much here. So then you like condense it, and then you're like, okay, that's 6 minutes. All right. Condense it. Like you just keep cutting sections and it's like, it's really interesting because you go through and then you go like, okay, does that like 8-word sentence add anything to this section? And it's like, okay, well, no, if I delete that, it still remains just as clear as it was before. So let's get rid of that. Okay, does the next section still need to be there? Like before, I was editing today's vlog while I was waiting for you to get here. And I edited this whole, like, I think it was like 1 minute and 18 seconds. And it was like me making my Instagram reels for the week. And I can see it. It's 1 minute and 8 seconds. I edited that, and then immediately after I edited the next section, I was like, I don't need this. Like this is too much now. So I cut it and I put it in a separate sequence. So I still have the edit in case I end up wanting to put it back in later. But as of right now, it's cut from the video, and that's 1 minute and 8 seconds, fully edited, fully done. That's just like gone.
Yeah, right. And that's like the style of editing though, and then you just get this really engaging, concise like video. Because I remember watching, I think maybe it was your first vlog.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, it's over. Like I was engaged the entire time, and like, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. And that's exactly like what I'm trying to do. Like I don't want at any point for someone to be like, okay, how much longer does this video have left? Like I really want to be hitting that sweet spot every single time of like, I want it to end and I want the first thought to be, oh, I wish it was like 30 seconds longer. Like that's my goal. Like I want that thought, and then because that's what gets them to go to the next video. And then the whole cycle repeats, and they get to the next video, and that video goes. And they get to the end, they go, "Oh, I wish that was 30 seconds." And then they go next, and then it keeps going. So
that's exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
We might have to wrap up though, because I just had to reset my camera.
Yes, we do need to wrap it up. I talked a lot that episode. I apologize.
No, don't talk
we
about
will talk about you next week.
Is your camera still going? Because I had to reset mine.
You mean my cinema camera that doesn't have a record limit?
I forget you have that. You've got 2 cinema cameras now. That's crazy.
Tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up then. Do you have anything you want to say before we finish
no,
up?
not really. No.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of The Froe Show. We hope that you've had a fantastic New Year's and an even better Christmas. Welcome to the new year. We can't wait to do another year with you. This is our third year doing The Froe Show.
Crazy.
That is
awesome.
a bit crazy.
I'm keen. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah. It is going to be a good year. So thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Bye. Bye. I can't hear it. I'm assuming it's going. I'm also entirely assuming I pressed the right
This
button.
could be the news theme or something.
I'm pretty sure it is right.